Hello, Alex Flores here with another SCP document. This one is a very interesting and festive tale. Every skip located on site liked Christmas a lot, but Dr. Clef, who worked at Site 19, did not. Dr. Clef hated Christmas the whole Christmas time, but please do not ask him. He might rip out your spine. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his hat was too tight. But I think the most likely reason for this was the hate in his heart for all of the skips. For whatever reason, his hate, his heart, or hat, he stood there on Christmas Eve, suspicious of all that, staring down the hallway with rigid concerned walk at the warm-lit containment cells all in his block. For he knew every skip contained on his block was busy now with the whole Christmas crock. The specimen of SCP-610 is hanging entrails on the wall. He puzzled over this behavior, but who should he call? Still puzzled, his fingers were nervously drumming. Other skips are preparing. There's a Christmas breach coming. Then he growled, all alone in the observation room. I must learn how to stop this Christmas breach soon. For tomorrow, he knew, all the skips down the block would wake bright and early, might break all their locks, and then, oh, the noise, the noise! The noise, the noise, the noise. There's one thing he hated, the noise, 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 noise. Then the skips, young and old, might break out and feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They might feast on researchers, guards, and the director, something Dr. Clef would not tolerate in his sector. And then they might do something he hated. He did. Every skip down in 19, Keter and Euclid might break out altogether with SCP-513 ringing. They'd run hand in hand, and all the skips would start killing. They'd kill, and they'd kill, and they'd kill, 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 kill. And the more Dr. Clef thought of this whole skip Christmas evil, the more Dr. Clef thought, I need to stop this upheaval. We can't afford a K-class scenario now. I must stop this Christmas breach from coming. But how? Then he got an idea. A sexy idea. Dr. Clef got a wonderful, sexy idea. I know just what to do. Dr. Clef smiled in his room. He requisitioned a D-class jumpsuit and broom, and he chuckled and cluckled. What a great fucking sham. With this get-up and broom, it'll look like testing as planned. But all I need is a helper. Dr. Clef looked around, but since helpers were scarce, there were none to be found. Did that stop the old doctor? No, Dr. Clef simply said, if I can't find a helper, I'll call a favor instead. So he called his friend, Dmitri, and evacuated the base. Then he armed the site's nuclear device, just in case. Then he took guns and amnestics from the site's armory vault, gave some to Dmitri and said, blow the site if I'm caught. The nuke's down the hall. That's plan B if I'm dead. Da, said Dmitri, and followed where it led. And Dr. Clef gave a sigh and headed on down toward the cell block where skips lay snooze all around. All their cells were dark. Eerily quiet was the air. Skips were all dreaming horrific dreams without care. When he came to the first little cell on the square, this is stop number 1. The old immersion doc hissed, and he climbed through the vent, amnestic syringe in his fist. Then he slid down the air ducts. He was actually quite deaf. For if the old grudge could do it, then so could the Clef. He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he slithered out the ventilation chute. For peculiar stockings all hung in a row. "This is contraband," he grinned. "Are the first things to go." Then he slithered and slunk, with a smile most unpleasant. Around the room he took every unauthored present. Candy and spiders, tinsel and crud, stillboards, ornaments, mucus and blood. And he stuffed them in trash bags. Then Clef, a bit later, stuffed all the bags in the incinerator. Then he slunk to control. He locked down the whole block. Had his been anomalous, he would have to lock up his... He closed every bulkhead as quick as a flash. Why, that doctor even locked the dumpster for trash. Then he burned all the contraband with victorious glee. "And now," grinned Dr. Clef, "I'll lock down SCP-173. As Dr. Clef grabbed the keys and he started to open, when he heard a small sound, like the chill of an omen. He turned around fast and he saw a small skip. SCP-191 was at the door, who was no more than 4. Dr. Clef had been caught by this anomalous belle, who'd woken and quite slipped out of her cell. She stared at Dr. Clef and said, "At D-Class, why? Why are you locking down our Christmas things? Why?" But you know, that old doctor was so smart and so slick. He thought of a reply, and he thought it up quick. "Get the fuck back. Get the fucking fuck back." Then he brought out his gun and fired a whole lot, but that skip was so quick that it dodged all his shots. It slashed and it gashed against Dr. Clef's skin, but that crafty Clef knew she was close enough in that he pricked her with the amnestic syringe. She blinked, for it shocked her. She stopped as she faltered. She forgot why she even attacked the poor doctor. Dr. Clef gave a shove, and he shoved her right in, right over the railing into 173's pen. Then he gathered his keys and locked up containment. He thought it was quite the clever detainment. With blood on the floor, he gathered himself, keyed up the radio, and leaned on the shelf. "Dimitri, come in. I got hurt rather bad. Be on standby. There's a few more things to be had." "Duh," said Dimitri, finger on the red button, watching the cameras for a signal or something. It was dawn. Lockdown was in full effect. All the skips still contained, all the locks were all checked. Packing up his shit, Dr. Clef headed back to his office to start to clean up. With a crooked smile, he grinned at his work. He laughed as he limped, and he said with a smirk, "Pooh-hoo to all the skips." He was mirthlessly humming. "They're finding out that no Christmas breach is coming. They're just waking up. I know what they'll do. Their maws will hang open a moment or two. Then the skips down in 19 will all cry boo-hoo-hoo." "That's a noise," grinned Dr. Clef, "that I must simply hear." So he paused, and Dr. Clef put his hand to his ear, and he did hear was sound starting to flow. It started in low, then started to grow. But the sound wasn't bad. Why, it sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry. Very. He stared down at the cell block. Dr. Clef popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every skip down in 19, the tall and the small, were singing without any breaches at all. He hadn't stopped skip Christmas from coming, it came. Somehow or another, it came just the same. And Dr. Clef, with his bloody chest looking low, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without killing, it came without breaches, it came without blood, destruction, or screeches. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then Dr. Clef thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe skip Christmas, he thought, isn't something to lock up. Maybe skip Christmas, perhaps, is a chance to make up. And what happened then? Well, in 19 they say that Dr. Clef's hateful heart melted that day. After a minute, his heart didn't feel quite so tight. He whizzed past the control room and undid the locks from last night, and opened the cells, let loose all the skips, gave back the contraband he did not burn in his trip. "Merry Skipmas," he said bloody Clef as he came down for hugs. "Merry Skipmas," said the skips as they hugged back with some snugs. With tentacles, claws, hands, and redacted, all grudges on Christmas were simply retracted. "Wait," cried Clef as he shook his hand of a spook. "I should call my friend before he blows up the—" And then they all died. The end. Alright. Hi, it's Basin here. Sorry for being sick. That's why I wasn't able to record. Well, not record. Wasn't able to post the last couple weeks. Was I had an appointment with my mom, got pneumonia and bronchitis. Same week, by the way. Then I was still recovering the next week. And then last week I just got bored, and that's why you ended up with a video. Because I outright said I wasn't gonna post, and then I come out with a video. What had happened was I was just watching YouTube, and I saw some analog horror stuff, and I just started being like, ooh, what if I did this and this? It's not supposed to be anything, it's just supposed to be just a boredom project. I guess if you want it to be like an analog horror or something, just, I guess, comment on it. Yeah, get it to like a couple hundred likes, and then maybe I'll think about it. 'Cause that took like 3 hours. It's only like 30 seconds long. So yeah. So that story was, what was it? How Dr. Clef contained Christmas. I will say, I had some technical difficulties. I am recording this Monday, the 23rd. It goes up tomorrow, and I messed up my recording, so I had to fix it. Also, thanks for whoever came by last stream Saturday when it was just me. I had recorded, didn't realize I paused the recording for a very long time, and then I got done recording as I thought, and decided to go streaming, and who was it? Give me a second. Okay, so shout out to September WCUE for joining me last stream. They were the only person primarily to type in chat, so I just thought I'd give them a little bit of recognition. Thanks for coming by, chatting with me. So I might stream within the week, just for the sole fact of I'm on Christmas break, but I might just decide to take that as time to record a bunch of shit, just in case I get sick again, which will happen. Sorry, guys. So I guess make sure to like, subscribe if you can, and comment. That really helps boost my content, which helps me make more videos for you guys. Because if I could get this as a job, I can do this full time. And I already help out Violet. So that would very much help me. Also, for those who are unaware, part part of my YouTube journey has been supported by my friend Violet, who she does Wildcraft videos. Her channel is Wildcraft with Violet. Please go subscribe to her if you haven't. I know some of her fans subscribe to my channel, which, hello guys. And she's just been a really big help. She's really trying to help me get monetized on here. And I think she also deserves some Christmas spirit. I am still working on the little 3-part video thing I'm working on. I don't think I said it in a video, but I do know I've said it on stream before. So yeah, I'm still working on that. I wasn't able to work on it when I was sick, because, you know, big part of that's recording. So yeah. See y'all next time.